Remember your high school economics class? Supply and demand curves, rational actors, GDP charts. It all seemed so neat and tidy, right? But what if I told you that most of what you learned misses the biggest, most chaotic, and arguably most important part of the economy? The part that actually explains how billions of people survive and even thrive. Today, we're diving into the economy you were never taught in school, the real-world economics of hustle, community, and survival. So, why do our textbooks and classrooms completely ignore this massive chunk of economic activity? Think about the street vendors you see on your way to work, the neighborhood handyman who gets paid in cash, the online freelancer bartering services, or the intricate social networks that act as informal insurance policies. This is the informal economy, and it's absolutely massive. In many parts of the world, it accounts for over half of all economic activity. Yet, in formal education, it's often treated as a footnote, a problem to be solved, or just completely invisible. The main reason is simple. It's messy. Formal economics loves clean data, predictable models, and things that can be easily measured and taxed. The informal economy is the opposite. It's decentralized, hard to track, and operates on unwritten rules of trust and reputation rather than legal contracts. It's the difference between a sterile laboratory and a bustling, unpredictable jungle. Textbooks prefer the lab. Let us talk about one of the biggest myths from your Econ 101 class, the rational actor. This is the idea that humans are like calculators, always making perfectly logical decisions to maximize their own gain. But is that how you or anyone you know actually behaves? When you lend a friend 20 bucks, are you calculating the net present value of that loan? No, you're strengthening a relationship. When a grandmother spends her Sunday cooking for the whole family, is she performing a cost-benefit analysis? Of course not. She's investing in her community, in her family's well-being. The informal economy runs on what we could call social rationality. Decisions are based on relationships, reputation, long-term reciprocity, and cultural norms. Trust is the currency. Your word is your bond. This is something that mathematical models struggle to quantify, so they often just ignore it. But in the real world, this social fabric is what allows people to cooperate, take risks, and build something from nothing when formal systems fail them. It's the human element that the charts and graphs can never fully capture. Now, let's explore a core concept in economics: scarcity. In a textbook, scarcity is an abstract problem solved by efficient allocation of resources. On the street, scarcity is a daily reality that fundamentally changes how you think and act. When you don't know where your next meal is coming from, your entire mindset shifts. Your brain isn't focused on long-term investment strategies. It's focused on immediate survival. This creates what researchers call a scarcity mindset. It can lead to incredible ingenuity and resourcefulness. Think of the person who can fix a car with a piece of wire and some tape, or the entrepreneur who starts a business with less than $100. This is economics in its rawest form, innovation born from necessity. However, this constant pressure also takes a toll. It consumes mental bandwidth, making it harder to plan for the future or escape the cycle of poverty. Formal economic policies often fail to recognize this psychological burden. They assume everyone has the mental space to sift through complex paperwork for a loan or a government program, when in reality, the person who needs it most is too busy trying to make it to tomorrow. This brings us to the huge gap between policy and reality. Governments and large institutions like the World Bank often design policies from a top-down perspective based on those clean, formal economic models. They create programs to formalize the informal economy, trying to get everyone registered, taxed, and playing by the official rules. On paper, it makes sense. In reality, it often fails spectacularly. Why? Because these policies often ignore why the informal economy exists in the first place. It's not just about avoiding taxes. It's a response to systems that are too slow, too expensive, or too biased. Getting a business license might require navigating a mountain of bureaucracy that a small street vendor simply doesn't have the time or resources for. Accessing a bank loan might be impossible without a credit history or collateral, which are luxuries for many. The informal economy provides a shortcut. It's a faster, more flexible, and often more accessible alternative. Instead of trying to crush it, policymakers should be asking, what is the formal system failing to provide that the informal one delivers so effectively? The answer is usually speed, flexibility, and a human touch. So what's the big takeaway from all of this? If you truly want to understand money, wealth, and poverty, you have to look beyond the charts and equations. You have to observe people. Economics isn't just a set of rules. It's the story of human behavior. It's watching how a community pools its resources to send a child to school. It's understanding the complex web of favors and obligations that holds a neighborhood together. It's recognizing the hustle and creativity that turns scarcity into opportunity. The economy you weren't taught in school is where the real action is. It's where you'll find the most resilient, innovative, and resourceful people on the planet. It's messy, it's unpredictable, and it's deeply human. And by understanding it, we not only get a more accurate picture of how the world works, but we can also start to design better, more empathetic solutions that actually help people instead of just looking good on a spreadsheet. The real economy isn't in a textbook. It's right outside your door. You just have to know how to look. Thanks so much for watching. If this gave you a new perspective on economics, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the way the world really works. See you in the next one.